Now this is a piece of 3/4 inch veneered birch plywood, and I'm just ripping off the veneer off one side, about 1/16 of an inch thick. Okay, now I'm just re-ripping this piece to 1.5 inches in width. And now I'm just preparing or making a small channel in the center of the piece to accommodate the wire for the lamp. Just cutting out, just moving the fence piece by piece to accommodate that. Okay, so this is my groove, or raceway, if you like to call it, for the cable for the lamp. Just check to make sure that it fits in there okay. It's nice and snug. Alright, this is my crosscut sled that I've set up to notch these pieces, or this piece, in order to bend it. It's cutting these grooves at 35 degrees. And here we are with the piece ready for bending. Putting a cable in the center, veneer on top, and just clamping the whole lot on my bending setup, which is just a piece of 3.5 inch diameter black plastic pipe, making sure that the grooves are running in line with the pipe. Just grab the whole lot, pull it around, making sure the cable stays within the groove. Of course, this is a lot easier on the dry fit. Gets a bit messy with the glue, but after a few attempts and a good few broken pieces, I finally ended up with a piece that worked. And I can move the twists along the pipe in order to make everything even. So to make the lamp itself, I'm using the leg of an old door jamb I had lying around. It's finger jointed pine, and I am marking out holes with my 3.5 inch hole saw bit. I'm just marking the front surface, and then I'm using a 3-inch hole saw bit to cut out some concentric circles. Turn it over and then drill it from the back and take all my pieces out. And these are all my pieces before they get actually cut from the back. I think I got a few extra just in case I had broken ones. And they're there. And you can see the few broken ones there. So after a bit of sanding, glue them all together, stack them one on top of the other, and clamp them. And this is the actual housing for my light. I was lucky enough to be able to fit the actual cylinder down over my drum sander and made it very easy to sand it. This piece of pine I'm ripping down to 1.5 inches. I'm going to use this to make a dome for the back of the light. So I set my saw at 10 degrees and put a 10-degree taper on that piece. And then I took it to my drill press where I have a 3-inch hole saw bit, and I'm cutting out some half circles. Inside this 3-inch hole saw bit I've got a 2.5-inch bit, and the segments that this setup will cut out should come together, something like the chocolate orange you can buy, to create a dome. There you go. And there they're all. I think I needed 36, or maybe not. 18 actually. I needed 18 pieces to make the dome. And there they are glued together. Now I ended up not being able to use all of this dome, so I shaved about half an inch off of the base of that to make it fit what I needed it. And this is a piece of 1/16" plexiglass I'm cutting to create the glass for the front of the light. And I just glue that to the circular piece I have there in the background and fitted it to the front of the cylinder. Trying to sand this spiral was probably the most challenging part of the whole project. It took a lot of time and effort. Now these are pieces of mahogany that I've decided to apply to the edges of that spiral. And in order to do this, I had to cut a lot of little pieces, shaped, wedge shaped, so they would accommodate the spiral and the twists on the edge. So I ripped the mahogany to 3/4 inches wide by 1/4 inch thick. And then taped the pieces together so I could cut 11 or 12 wedges at a time. The saw blade is set at 3 degrees, and I just flick the whole lot over to cut the opposite side. I needed something like 240 pieces total to do both edges of the spiral. And the tape, as you can see, helped to hold all the pieces together and create a nice clean cut edge. Now here I am with all those pieces, gluing them to the edge of the spiral. I tried all the different methods, but eventually it was just as easy to just glue one after the other, one by one. Now this is the base for the lamp. I decided to create a mortise for the spiral and insert it into that piece of maple I have there. It's I think it's a 6/4 maple, just a piece I had hanging around the place. And there you go, it's fitting right in there. As you can see, I placed blue tape on the spiral to protect it while I was trying to sand those mahogany pieces. And mainly did a lot of that sanding with a Dremel and a Dremel bit. Okay, now this is the bracket I'm making to hold the lamp in place. Now this was an adjustment knob that was supposed to go with the bracket you just saw, but it turned out my piece of mahogany was too small, and I finally had to give up on this and make a new one from a piece of maple. Okay, this is the top piece I created to hold the lamp itself. Fits right over the top of the spiral. And here we have all the finished pieces. Sanded, just ready to get some clear coat. The base turned out nice. And the mahogany took an awful lot of sanding, mainly hand sanding. And there's the finished product. You can see the dome there on top and the maple adjustment knob that I made. And it actually works.